Hello and welcome to another installment of Smart Money. My name is Kura, Chihota, and beside me is the financial advisor who has your best interest at heart, Mr. Brother from my other mother, Warren Ingram. He's the executive at smartrand.com. To some, the thought of retirement is apocalyptic. The fear of not having saved enough money to sustain one's lifestyle when you retire has many people in a mad panic. So what can we do now to ensure that we're well prepared for our retirement in the future? Warren, this is a question, we all fear living too long, dying too soon, and the money running out in between those two possibilities.
So it's all about fear. And that's what, so apocalyptic, that's quite a big word for TV.
I had to spell it 3 times, I'm sorry.
So to me, this is where it all starts, I guess where retirement planning often goes wrong. Firstly, if you're talking to someone who's 35, retirement is an entire lifetime away. And secondly, the conversation is usually around fear. You're not going to have enough. You have to save, you have to do all this stuff. And I think that's where we've got to change things. Let's start with saying it's not really about retirement. Retirement isn't the end of life as we know it, and suddenly you're going to go and sit on the stoop and have a beer or tea every morning, and that's all you're going to do with your life. It's about getting to the point where you're financially independent, where you don't have to work for the man. You can do what you feel like.
Ooh, that sounds like quite an idyllic setup, utopia, going with the big words. When you're planning for your retirement, a lot of us just planning for our tax year, we're not looking that far out in advance. Yeah. When you're talking about something that is, if you're young and starting out, you're 25, this is something that's going to happen 40 years out. What are the kind of disciplines that we need to consider when we're taking that kind of a long-term view? So
let's start with just setting some intermediate goals as well. So it's not just about saying, okay, I'm 25 and I'm going to retire in 20 years' time. Let's start with saying, well, I'd like to be at the point where I'm debt-free. And I'd like to have some kind of a cash emergency fund so that if something goes wrong, I'm not using credit, I'm not borrowing money from somebody, and then let me start building up some savings. So I think it's about setting attainable goals and making things smaller. The only way you eat an elephant is one bite at a time, but we're not going to eat elephants on the show.
Why would I want to eat an elephant in the first place?
So do things in bite-sized chunks. And I think it starts with saying, okay, the first goal to financial freedom is don't owe anybody any money. You don't want to work your lifetime for the bank. Because if you've got debt now, let me tell you, you're not working for yourself, you're not working for your family, you're working for the bank. The bank manager owns you. And the only way to get out of that is make sure that the bank owes you money. Put some money there and have something on deposit, but don't start so start by getting debt free. And I think that becomes the first goal. And then it's a case of saying, okay, I need to build up some money, some investments that will generate some kind of capital growth for me on a normal basis so that I can start getting an income stream. And hopefully it's an income stream that will beat inflation over a long period of time.
But boss, I hear you on this savings story, but things are tight. By the time we've got ESCOM, NIRSA increases, tax increase, everything is coming at us. To find my rand, they used to lap and overlap. Now to make ends meet, they're not even talking to each other. So where am I going to find this money to save?
So you're giving me excuses. That's what you're telling me.
I'm telling you things are tight, boss.
Things are tight, and they're always going to be tight. There's always going to be a reason why we can't save or why we can't make ends meet, and I'm not saying they're not valid, but I think the deal is, do you want to wear the fancy shoes and the designer clothes, or do you want to be financially independent? If you want to be financially independent, then you have to make sacrifices somewhere along the line. And I think that's always the deal with money is it's about delaying gratification now and building things out and building your money up so that you can have that lifestyle a bit later.
No, but my retirement, I'm going to be taken care of. I'm employed, so my employer has, I'm sure they've sorted that out. I'm paying down my bond on my property, so I'm sure I can rent that out when I retire. I don't actually actively have to chase this retirement thing, do I? I'm Joe Easy, can't I be?
So the millions of people worldwide that did work for one company or for a few companies and contributed faithfully to their retirement funds over their lifetime and paid off their bonds, who are sitting 20 years later after they've retired with not enough money, believe the same thing. The deal is you have to build up a lot of money to be able to live a long time and live a comfortable life. And your retirement fund, unfortunately, is not going to be sufficient unless you're contributing a third of everything that you earn to your retirement fund.
Hey, what?
Exactly. The deal is it's not going to work for you. And unless you've got some magical retirement fund which has never been developed to this point, then you are going to have to save over and above what you put in your retirement fund. You are going to have to build up capital outside of that. And it's probably quite a bit. You know, I mean, to me, if someone's starting out and they are earning a salary for the first time now, I would tell them to take a third of everything they earn and put it away. Pay yourself first, save first, and then use the rest of the money to pay the taxes and to buy the cars and the fancy clothes. But until you're saving a third of your money, you're not saving enough.
Phew! Please don't go anywhere. On the other side of this break, we're joined by Kim Potgieter. She's a director and retirement life planner at Chartered Wealth Solutions. We're going to be talking about this retirement or retirement. We'll see you on the other side of this.